Discrimination against Muslim Americans remains high in the United States, more than a decade after Islamic extremists carried out the September 11th attacks.
Discrimination against Muslims is something that is happening all over the world. Whether you have an opinion or not, Islamophobia is a big factor dividing people. Many anti-Muslim hate groups in America, Australia, and the UK, such as IslamThreat.com, Prophet of Doom, and Faith Freedom have led protests, picketings, and even attacks on mosques. A recent mosque in Les Malles, France, had firebombs and pig heads thrown into them out of hatred. You may be asking what started this all. After the attack on 9/11, Islamophobia was growing. To this day, terrorists give Muslims a bad name. The cafe incident in Australia added even more fuel to the fire. This has been going on from around 1980 to 2015. So how is this dividing us? Many citizens of Australia, US, and the UK want Muslims to be ID'd and even go as far as wearing a badge saying Muslim to identify them. Ever since 9/11, discrimination has been huge on Muslims, whether it's on planes or even getting jobs. Because of these radicals, the peaceful are being divided every day.
Discrimination against Muslims in the workplace. This is a very hard allegation to prove, but Muslims and civil rights attorneys insist job discrimination is happening, and some of it is aimed at the religious aspects of Islam.
I was told that I could not wear my scarf to work, and I must take my bags and leave the premises.
So you were fired on the spot?
On the spot. No warning whatsoever.
I felt like I'd been manhandled. I felt assaulted. It seems like a strong term, but if you're a Muslim woman and you dress modestly and you keep your distance from men, and a stranger suddenly lays his hands on you without any explanation, any questions asked, it's a shock.
She was even more offended when her complaints to security management was scoffed at. Lauren says her ordeal is indicative of a wider problem.
In Europe and America, we've sleepwalked into a situation where a particular group in our society is being targeted for harassment by the police and by airport officials. And I think we need to look at how we treat Muslims in these situations.
Ahmed Uddin from the Islamic Human Rights Commission says that more people are reporting harassment at airports. But the number may not reflect how widespread the problem is, because many Muslims just don't come forward.
There's on one hand, there's Muslims out there who are facing these problems and don't want to come forward because they feel if they make a noise about it, they will get stopped more and more often. And there's people who are out there saying, you know, what difference does it make, because the system is flawed and they're not going to help us because there's a war against Islam.
Arzul Mirali is also from the Islamic Human Rights Commission, and in 2008 she faced a similar ordeal at Copenhagen Airport.
Sadly, we get more and more of these types of reports to us, and we ourselves as activists and people who travel a lot are frequently experiencing, harassing and discriminatory behaviour, not just in European countries but actually in the UK as well, where sadly, many of us have been taken to be scanned, body scanned in a very humiliating way. It's not just the process, it's the way we're treated.
As this 16-year-old walks to the station, the man behind her is about to do something unprovoked and unfit for tea-time viewing. He punches her so hard that by the time she hits the pavement, she is already unconscious, allowing her attacker to escape. The victim didn't want to show her face today, but she did want to show us where her attack happened. Outside of Hub, she walks past every day.
The airline told us that we can't fly their airline. That basically what they're saying to us is that they wouldn't book us on any flight, even though the FBI agent went to the counter and recommended to them that we're completely safe. Their company or corporate policy basically is to not allow them, anyone that I guess has been in the situation, to be allowed onto the plane.
The FBI agents actually cleared our names, and they went on our behalf and spoke to the airline and said there is no suspicious activity here, they are clear, please let them get on a flight so they can go on their vacation, and they still refused.
They actually refused to book us on any subsequent flights in AirTran, period, until the matter is apparently cleared, whatever that means.
I think it's just a misunderstanding. I think, there is a climate of fear that is present. When you're on the Beltway, it says report any suspicious activity. When you come into the airport, it says report any suspicious activity. So, people are just afraid and they're looking for suspicious activity.